Kemi's stomach would literally burst if she tasted any food or clean water. So she survived on charcoal, sand, and dirty water. Kemi ate charcoal and sand for 7 years, while her father lived in a mansion built from her corpse. Before we continue, follow this page so you don't miss what happens to Kemi next. Like and comment where you are watching from. This story will break your heart before it heals it. Kemi's father was a poor farmer. He had nothing. No cows, no gold, no big house. He only had hunger and shame. One night, he did something no man in the village had ever dared to do. He walked into the forbidden river at midnight and stole the sacred sapphire from the river goddess's shrine. By morning, everything changed. Baba Kemi found gold buried behind his hut. Rich men suddenly wanted to buy Kemi's father's land at 10 times its worth. Within a year, he had cows, servants, and the biggest house in the village. Nobody asked questions. Everybody just called him a lucky man.
God has blessed me, my daughter. We will never suffer again.
Father, I am so happy. Nobody will mock me for being poor again. We'll finally be able to afford new clothes and good food.
Kemi believed him. She was so happy that their suffering would finally end and now they can enjoy the new wealth. She did not know the truth. She did not know what he had taken from the river. That night, the goddess came into Kemi's dream. Her eyes burned like fire and her voice was cold water and thunder mixed together.
Your father stole my heart from the river. He drinks his wealth from my pain. Since he will not return what he stole, his daughter will pay the price. From today, your mouth will reject every normal food. If you dare to eat rice or yam, if you dare to drink water, your belly will swell and burst.
Kemi woke up screaming. Sweat covered her body. She told herself it was only a bad dream.
It is nothing, just a nightmare.
That morning, she sat down and ate pounded yam. Like every other day, 10 minutes later, her stomach twisted like a rope. Pain shot through her belly, sharp as a knife. She vomited everything, then vomited again, until only yellow bile came out. Her stomach swelled up like a woman 9 months pregnant, tight and hot to touch. She screamed and rolled on the floor, certain she was dying. She vomited everything, then vomited again, until only yellow bile came out. Her stomach swelled up like a woman 9 months pregnant, tight and hot to touch. She screamed and rolled on the floor, certain she was dying. Her grandmother, an old woman who still remembered the ways of the ancestors, ran to her side.
Kemi, what did you eat? Talk to me.
Only pounded yam. Mama, it is burning me from inside.
The old woman's face went pale. She grabbed a piece of burnt firewood from the cooking fire and crushed it into powder.
Open your mouth, quickly.
That is charcoal. It will kill me.
Trust me, my child. This is an antidote for food poisoning. If any poison has touched your stomach, only the earth can calm it.
Kemi swallowed the black powder, choking and crying. Within minutes, the fire in her belly went cool. The swelling went down. The pain disappeared like it was never there. That was the day Kemi understood. The dream was not a dream. It was a curse, and it was real. Word spread fast. A girl who could not eat food, who only chewed on coal and swallowed sand. This was not normal. The village chief called a meeting under the big Iroko tree.
This girl is a witch. She wants to eat the soil of our land so our crops will fail. Drive her out before she brings ruin on all of us.
Kemi's father stood in the crowd. He knew the truth. He knew what he had done at the river, but he said nothing. He looked down at his new leather sandals and stayed silent.
Baba, please, tell them I am not a witch. Tell them the truth.
I cannot.
That silence broke something inside Kemi. They chased her out of the village with sticks and curses. She built a small mud hut alone on the rocky hills outside town, where nothing grew and nobody visited. Years passed, 7 long years. While the villagers grew old, tired and sick from hard living, Kemi grew stronger. Her skin glowed like polished bronze. She never caught fever. She never grew weak. The very earth that disgraced her was quietly keeping her alive. Then the drought came. 2 years without rain. The river shrank into a thin, muddy line. The yam barns stood empty. Chickens and goats dropped dead in the dust. Children cried themselves to sleep. Kemi's father now a thin shadow of the rich man he used to be, dragged himself up the rocky hill to his daughter's hut. He fell at her feet, weeping.
Kemi, my daughter, forgive me. The village is dying. I am dying. Please help us.
You let them call me a witch. You watched them chase me with sticks, and you said nothing.
I was afraid, my daughter. Afraid they would find out what I did. Afraid they would kill us both.
And now that your wealth has dried up like the river, now you remember you have a daughter.
He said nothing. He only wept into the dust, too weak to argue. Kemi looked at her basket of charcoal and sand, the very things that had made her an outcast. She thought of the empty wells, the dying children, the people who had never once, in 7 years, brought her food or water. Then she thought of the small ones, the babies who had done her no wrong. She made her choice. She walked down into the village, carrying sacks of charcoal and fine river sand. The villagers backed away from her, too weak and too frightened to run.
What is she doing? She has come to finish us with her witchcraft.
Kemi said nothing. She walked straight to the community well, where only a few inches of thick, black, poisonous mud remained. She poured in the crushed charcoal. She poured in layer after layer of sand.
She is destroying our last water. Somebody stop her.
Nobody moved. Nobody had the strength left to stop her or to help her. Within the hour, something strange happened. The mud began to settle at the bottom of the well. The water above it began to clear. Then finally, crystal clean, sweet, clear water bubbled up to the surface, more pure than anyone had tasted in years. Kemi dipped a calabash into the well and gave the first cup to her father. Drink. He drank with shaking hands and color rushed back into his face. One by one, the villagers crawled forward and drank, weeping with relief. The kingdom survived. Kemi taught them to preserve their last seed corn with ash and charcoal, protecting it from rot until the rains finally returned. The people who once chased her with sticks now knelt in the dirt before her, begging for forgiveness. Kemi did not smile. She only turned and began walking back toward her hill. But that night, alone in her hut, the goddess visited her dream one final time. Her fire eyes were softer now, but still watching.
You have saved them, child. But tell your father this. I know what he still keeps buried beneath his sleeping mat. My heart is not yet returned to the river. Until it is, this peace will not last.
Kemi opened her eyes in the darkness of her hut. Outside, thunder rumbled over dry land for the first time in 2 years. She did not know if it was the sound of rain finally coming or something else, still waiting to be paid for. For 3 days, Kemi's father did not eat. He did not sleep. He sat on his mat, staring at the small cloth bundle hidden beneath it, the true heart of the river goddess, the sapphire he had never fully let go of, telling himself it was for his family's protection. But now, his daughter had suffered 7 years for that lie. On the 4th night, he stood up in the darkness and made his decision.
No more hiding. No more lies. I will return what is not mine, even if it costs me my life.
He walked through the bush alone, the bundle pressed against his chest, until he reached the forbidden river. The water was still low from the drought, but it moved. Slow, dark, patient, waiting. He fell to his knees at the water's edge.
Great mother of the river, I stole from you out of hunger and shame. I made my daughter pay for my sin. I am not asking you to forgive me. I am only asking you to let her go.
With trembling hands, he placed it gently into the water. The river did not swallow it right away. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then the water began to glow, spreading outward in rings of soft light, and the goddess rose from the surface, tall and shimmering, her fire eyes now calm instead of burning.
You came on your own feet this time, not because your daughter forced you, not because hunger drove you. That matters to me.
I have nothing left to offer you except the truth. Please spare my daughter. She has carried my shame long enough.
Your daughter's suffering was never a punishment for her. It was a mirror so that you would one day see your own reflection in her pain. You have seen it now. Take this back to her. Not as a curse this time, as a gift. Let it remind you both of what greed nearly cost you and what honesty finally returned.
But the curse
is already broken. It broke the moment you knelt here with empty hands and an honest mouth.
Baba ran through the bush in the dark, not caring about thorns tearing his skin, until he reached the rocky hill where Kemi's hut stood. He banged on her door, breathless.
Kemi! Kemi, open the door!
Kemi stepped out, tired and weary, expecting more trouble.
Baba, what is it now?
I went to the river. I returned it. All of it. Kemi, it is over. This was never meant to be mine. It was never meant to bring us riches at your expense.
Take it, my daughter.
You suffered for my sin for 7 years. It is time you lived for yourself.
Am I free?
Try it. Try to eat.
Kemi stared at the stone for a long time before she picked it up. That night, for the first time in 7 years, Kemi's grandmother prepared a small bowl of pounded yam and hot pepper soup. The whole family stood around her in silence, holding their breath as she lifted the first spoon to her mouth. She swallowed. She waited. No pain came. No burning, no swelling. Only warmth and the simple, forgotten taste of real food. Kemi began to cry.
I can taste it. Baba, I can taste it.
Word spread through the village faster than the drought had ever spread hunger. The same people who once chased Kemi with sticks now came bearing gifts, bowing their heads in shame and relief. With the goddess's blessing restored and the sapphire no longer a stolen thing but a gifted one, fortune returned to the family in a way that felt earned rather than stolen. The rains came steady and full. The soil grew rich again. Traders came from far kingdoms, once the head of the girl who had turned curses into miracles. And they paid well for her family's grain. Kemi built a new house on the same rocky hill where she had once suffered alone, not out of bitterness, but because that hill had made her strong. She never forgot what charcoal and sand had taught her. She ate real food now. She laughed now. She was rich now. But sometimes, in quiet moments, she still kept a small piece of charcoal in her pocket, not because she needed it, but because she never wanted to forget what it cost to be free. Moral lessons. 1. Stolen wealth always demands a price, even if someone else pays it first. Kemi's father enjoyed riches for years, while his daughter suffered for a sin she never committed. 2. Silence in the face of injustice is its own kind of guilt. Her father watched the village call his daughter a witch and said nothing. His silence hurt her as much as the curse did. 3. What looks like a curse can carry a hidden gift. The very thing that made Kemi an outcast, charcoal and sand, became the exact thing that saved the village. 4. Real repentance means giving up what you've been secretly holding on to, not just apologizing. The father's guilt meant nothing until he actually returned the sapphire he'd been hiding. 5. People will mock what they don't understand, then beg from the same person once they need saving. The villagers who chased Kemi away were the same ones who later knelt and drank from her hands.